and welcome to another game of You Awaken in a Strange Place. I am joined by some very fantastic guests today. I can't wait to be playing with these three very different individuals that we have never met. And before 15 minutes ago, we did a mic and video check.
Frankly, this is a stranger danger situation for me, buddy.
For all of us, really, except for me, who knows all three of you individually in some way or another. Ultimately, You Awaken in a Strange Place, I want to get this out front, is a silly, fully improvised RPG developed by Jacob Andrews of the Drawfee channel. It is literally one of the only games my brain will actually let me run. Because it is simple, it is silly, and it is almost basically just a slightly more elaborate improv game, like you would see on Whose Line Is It Anyway, maybe. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to it. Let's get a quick introduction of everybody, starting with Ryan. Oh, did we just lose Ryan?
He got very shy, and
well, let's start by introducing Scott. Would you go ahead?
Hello, I am Scott. What do you want me to say?
Oh man, just a quick introduction. What do you do, Scott? What's your what is something that you do with your life? Explain yourself.
That could take a while.
I know it, buddy.
How does one explain oneself in this hellscape that we live in?
So true.
I don't know.
Have you tried your monetary value?
Well, if we're going by my monetary value, according to the salary I get, no. I do film things. I write, shoot, edit, act. I do all the things. I assistant edit in day job land for Paramount. And since they're on strike, I've been doing a whole lot of jack shit for the last few months. But I've been doing a lot of other production stuff and writing and yada yada yada. So I do a lot of production.
Yeah, we love it. Ryan, you're back. Why don't you give yourself an introduction?
Hey, I'm a wage slave. I'm not part of any strike. I'm not holding the line against assholes at all. But I do like playing games with Weston, at least, and presumably with Zach and Scott, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, you can find me mostly on a couple of Nerdcrafty videos.
Beautiful.
Thanks, bud.
Glad to have you, bud. Zach, you are the newbie to this group. We haven't got to play a game with you yet, and
that's right.
I'm very excited, bud. Why don't you give yourself an introduction?
Yeah, my name is Zach. I don't have any purpose in my life at all. Although I do take care of animals, which is pretty great. We have 12 pets at home. You probably will hear them singing the songs of their people, hopefully not too loudly on the mic. But I also take part in a podcast called Strangers Rolling Dice, which is an actual play, mostly D&D, but we are branching into other indie games pretty soon. So check it out wherever you can find a podcast.
Hell yeah. Strangers Rolling Dice is a really fantastic program. I definitely recommend checking it out. Anywhere you get your podcasts. I'm Weston. You can find me at Lava Submersible anywhere on the internet. I want you to find me. And I will be GMing this game today, joined by these intrepid players. So let's get right into it. Everyone has something to write on, something to write with, and 2d6, right?
Hell yes.
I have a web browser. That'll have to suffice.
That'll do in a pinch. Perfect. Well, I'm going to have each of you roll those 2d6 for me. And I will be going to ask your results in just a moment. So go ahead and roll and let me know when you're done.
I got it, buddy.
I'm ready.
I'm winning at You Awaken already.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, all
I
right.
quit.
Well,
I give up. I'm done.
I think we know who's got high roll here. So Scott, you rolled a 12.
I also rolled a 12.
Oh.
It was a lucky
did
night,
it.
gentlemen.
I
We
like
should
to
be
see the
playing
numbers.
craps.
Yeah. So Zach and Ryan, you both got 12s.
No, that'll be Scott and Ryan got 12.
Scott and Ryan, sorry. And Zach, what was your result?
I got a 12. Just kidding. I got a 7. So not another 12.
Perfect. Okay. Scott and Ryan, I'm gonna have you both re-roll real quick. Higher
Oh, wow.
result.
Sorry, one of my dice just hit the floor.
Well, I am just about to go to jail in Monopoly. I got 10, a 5, and a 5. So
All right.
I have got 6.
6. All right. So it's gonna go Ryan, Scott, Zach. And what I'm having you roll for is you are going to silently, each of you, think of Ryan, an adjective. Scott, I'm going to have you think. No, I'm sorry. Ryan, you are thinking of a genre. Scott, you are thinking of an adjective. And Zach, you are thinking of a location. Think for a moment. Take your time. These are going to define the world that we are going to be playing in tonight. It's going to tell us what kind of game we're playing. And it's going to tell us where we're playing at. So, let's see. Is everybody ready?
Unfortunately,
I'm ready to rock. Yeah, we're never ready. We're never prepared for this sort of thing.
All right, Ryan, what's the genre of the game we're playing tonight?
Oh, we are playing a noir detective story, my friend.
Ooh. All right, honey.
It's going to have dames and wise guys and such.
Mm.
Yeah. Maybe some kind of barrel-shaped magazine for a weapon. I don't know. Let's find out. Scott, what kind of adjective did you have selected for us tonight?
On such short notice, I went through as many as I could, and I'm going with adventurous.
Oh, an adventure with
Sure is.
we got to retrieve the one ring, see?
I love it. And Zach, what's the location of our what is our setting tonight?
So I don't know why this jumped in my head right away, but on an airplane is what came to mind.
Oh, damn. On
I
an
mean,
airplane.
noir on a passenger vehicle. That's like a trope right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely is. God.
Very
Noir.
contained location.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Meet me in the lavatory in 10
I mean,
minutes.
there's doors, there's windows.
Yeah.
Things can happen.
Well,
Things can go down.
exactly what that'll look like. We'll help. Our next step is gonna help define. So now we're gonna talk, each of us, about a statement about this world that will, from hereafter, be absolutely true. This can be a statement about the way that the politics of the nation or the game. Can talk about the culture that we are playing in. It can talk about any number of ways you can imagine, just defining this world a little bit more. So everyone think for a moment about one statement about this world that will be true forevermore. And in that same order, Brian, Scott, Zach, I'm going to take your statements. Very noir. Let's see.
Ooh.
I hear some ums. I hear some ums.
It is a yeah. I think that we live in a classless anarchist society.
All right. Okay.
Just because I know that's like catnip for you, man.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. How do you have detectives in an anarchist society? One would ask. Although it's not necessarily, depending on your perspective, out of the question.
It's a form of mutual aid.
I like this. You know, it's not the first time that a noir has been written from an anarchist perspective. I don't think it is a necessarily like a bad combo. I'm enjoying this just as a mental game. Partying. Okay, Scott, what is a statement about this world that will become true?
All right. As part of the society we live in, 9 out of 10 people have at least one knife on their person.
9 out of 10 people have at least one knife.
Yes.
Is the 10th person carrying 2 knives, or are they carrying 0 knives?
Well, he did say at least one knife, so that
At
implies that the 10th person may have no knives, but they may have like a chainsaw or a laser gun.
You never know.
Yeah, that's just the die you roll when you decide to try to beat somebody up. Will they stab you, or will they vaporize you, or will it be reduced to fisticuffs?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be a very stabby noir. So, Zach, with that in mind, or completely without that in mind, what was your first instinct? What's a statement about the world that you think is true?
So my first instinct before hearing anything was that animals can talk. I think I'm going to stick with that. I think animals can talk.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, hold on. Okay. All right, perfect. We have 3 very interesting, very different statements about our adventurous noir on an airplane. How they will all come into play remains up to us from here on out, but these are all true statements about the world. The next part of the game, we're going to just define and refine some of these ideas. This has no turn order. We're just spitballing at this point. We're just brainstorming. My first question is: animals can talk. Does that make? Would you say that there are anthropomorphized animals, or just straight up like a golden retriever that can talk?
I think we're talking Air-Bud here. Like these are just
that was my thought too. Like
there's no rule that says a dog can't be a pilot. You know,
so
that's the world that we're in. It's anarchist world.
Absolutely.
And if they can talk and communicate, that implies sentience. And I would hope in a class like anarchist society that a cow can be a bus driver.
And a cow might have a knife.
And a cow might have a knife. They might not have opposable thumbs, but
I've seen like the crab that has a knife in its mouth. That picture. So.
Oh, I really want to believe the cow just has a knife attached to its horn, if it's a bull. But I guess if it's not, it could just have maybe knives attached to their hooves, like duct taped on or something like that.
Yeah, like a switchblade kind of bracelet,
like Shredder and Ninja Turtles, but a cow.
Like Shredder and Ninja Turtle.
If this is the world we live in, I would imagine they have specific harnesses for all the animals that might need these knives.
Everybody needs a knife in this society, yeah. So, 9 out of 10 people need a knife. The other
9 out of 10 people.
I mean,
You know,
some of them could be
depends on how
sharks
they
with
dust
freaking
them.
laser beams attached to their heads.
Exactly.
You know,
Mm,
I'm trying to think. So, we're creating. Part of my challenge tonight is going to be figuring out, in a classless, a castless anarchist society, what problems could you even face? What challenges do we even have at this point, comrades?
I mean,
World is perfect. There is no
listen,
conflict. We're just
The
having fun
world
tonight.
might not be perfect. This part of the world might be a classless
This
anarchist
plane.
society. Yeah, there might be people trying to destabilize and institute hierarchies of some kind, and
the pilot the pilot could have been the capitalist. We threw him off the plane, and now we have no pilot. Gotta figure that out.
So the golden retriever is going to have to fly.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have their pilot's license yet, but they are studying. Perfect. Okay, so the society that this noir takes place in, that might be everything going well, but outside of that, there may be where it is coming into some conflict. A world trying to enforce hierarchies upon this lovely society where animals can talk.
I guess my question too is, do animals talk everywhere or just on the plane for some reason? That could be weird. I don't know.
That is scary.
Like maybe it's a brand new thing. Like, holy shit, these animals are talking to us.
It's an airline, and they've constructed their planes in just such a way that it's affected like the magnetic field around things and manifested sentience and the ability to communicate into animals that fly on these planes.
Yeah, that classic film noir trope.
Yeah.
Only
exactly.
on the planes.
Only on the planes. Oh, so once they get off the plane, they can't talk anymore?
Ooh, so maybe
I was going to ask about the plane. Is there an off the plane?
Does the world exist outside the plane?
Maybe the world is like Waterworld or something, and the planes just are constantly being flying.
Langoliers. Yeah, we can't land.
Yeah, because
boats
land.
So
it's a solar-powered plane.
This is a flying Snowpiercer.
Yeah,
a flying anarchist Snowpiercer.
Or maybe hundreds of shield-sized helicarriers that are just these little mini societies, traversing this planet with maybe few, if any, actual places to land.
Maybe the plane's trying to find the place to land.
Now we're talking.
That's the adventure, maybe.
Yeah, we're following a rumor we heard that there's a place you can.
We're trying to find dry land.
Yeah.
So it's Waterworld meets Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Meets
in the
Animal
sky.
Farm.
CONAIR-BUD is what I'm thinking of.
CONAIR-BUD.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Meet Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. The classic film noir tale. Everyone knows by heart.
Of course.
Everyone loves Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone notoriously loves that movie and everyone in it.
That's a blockbuster right there.
Yeah, everybody read that script and was like, "This is going to make billions of dollars." So planes and helicarriers are the. I keep wanting to it's the only terrestrial ground that most of the world that you live in knows. The actual land that might exist, maybe this world is just massive, just enormous, so big that any one vehicle has never gotten fully around it, and you are just constantly looking for dry land, somewhere to land this plane. Or is this more almost like a world of archipelagos where you all know where there's land, and you're just trying to find a safe place to land on.
There could be like a compelling reason why we don't land anymore. Like, I mean, we've made Noah's Ark essentially with all the animals and people. So maybe something has happened on the land where, you know, the robber barons, as dirty capitalists, like ruined everything, and we can't land there anymore.
No, because there are landlords on the land, like literal
landlords. I like that.
So there's like
a scourge of landlords.
Yeah, above the sky above in the sky are all of these people trying to essentially survive, because any inhabitable like land on the ground is all like run under this oppressive feudal kind of system.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all are just trying to find somewhere that you can be free and attached to the ground and not be constantly surrounded by machine and mechanical parts that
it's probably a point of contention, I would think. Like, some people don't want to land. They want to live out their generations of life in the air. But some do want to land. There's probably like ancient sea turtles that remember living on land, like on the planet.
Those motherfuckers talk.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they can tell you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and this is not like necessarily our Earth. This is somewhere, who knows where, with who knows what living in those oceans,
Mm-hmm.
So are we seeing like mostly water worlds, or mostly a world where you can't land, essentially? It's water, lava, who knows what, and then small pieces of land with literal landlords that rule over them, like in their little juntas, right?
Oh, the lords of land.
Lords of land, yeah. Like, no one even uses the word landlord anymore. Yeah, that's an archaic term. The lords of land that plague us.
Okay, well, we definitely have potential for conflict. We have a bunch of different places. So I'm always curious to know, is there like a spirituality, many kinds of spirituality that run through the course of this world? I mean, animals talk. Who knows what kind of wisdom they can impart from their own spiritual views. I'm sure there's, a skunk philosopher that's quite popular.
Buy it.
And, if culture and religion tend to go hand in hand, maybe this is some kind of religious philosophy that kind of goes with what we've already established. I'm always curious. But yeah, we could figure that out. Let's see. So we've established animals can talk. Are there any other kinds of I guess, is everyone like us, or are the people that live on this planet different in any significant way that's worth remarking?
Good question.
I mean, the knife fanaticism, that's a little different.
I mean, actually, what's the reason behind the knife fanaticism is my question.
Oh,
is it just like, is there constant conflict?
It's like a fad.
Fighting over the food cart that comes down the aisle? Like, you have to.
I mean, maybe it's like how fidget spinners were a couple of years ago, right? Okay. Just everybody just got one,
flashing their knife around all the time.
Yeah,
I think everybody got them. I think they started as
what's this crazy thing?
Animals. My 2 cents is that they have all these knives because they're animals and they're used to being treated poorly, and now they have sentience, so they're just like, just in case. I got a knife. I got a knife a human can respect.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
That makes a
interesting.
lot of sense.
I may have missed that establishing, but the animals used to not be able to talk on this planet. Is what
I don't think we
you're going for.
decided necessarily.
We
Yeah.
haven't really decided.
No, but you okay? But then we just have. We've established that the animals have only in the last, who knows, few generations have gained the ability to talk, have been given the ability to communicate to the world at large around them and advocate for themselves in a way they never could before, to become part of the to be accepted finally. Yeah, and part of that acceptance was brought about through enforcing their autonomy with knives.
Yeah, they probably just stabbed all the meat eaters that were still around.
Dude, I mean, given what we've established, all of the different points, I almost think that I think go on a journey with me. So it started out as a planet not too dissimilar from ours, but albeit much, much larger. Ice caps melted. World was water worlded by unfettered greed and capitalism, which, when the amount of usable space on the planet dried up, created these even more oppressive systems like feudalism, brought them back into power, and in and around that same time, what if that's when animals gained sentience, gained the ability to communicate, and that is a big reason why everyone is flying in planes all around the world.
Makes sense.
That's the picture I'm getting.
Yeah, it's kind of like the ark metaphor, but like the animals are the ones that led it because they're like, we don't want to live here anymore where we're just going to get intensively farmed and eaten. We're taking to the skies.
Is it mostly an animal society that some humans decided to go along with, and the humans are the lords of land?
That's a good question. Like, are there, I guess, animal sympathetic humans on the plains too? I mean, I think so. Like, I would hope that enough
It
of
stands to
humanity
reason.
would realize, oh, these animals are sentient. They have knives. Like, let's
I'm
go
on their
live with
side.
them.
That bear has a knife. I'd better listen to him.
Scared of bears before the knives, and now that one's carrying around in one hand he's got a chainsaw, in the other hand he's got a hatchet.
Ooh.
That's a rough go. Yeah.
And yet he's a peaceful bear talking about mutual aid and basically bear Jesus, but with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it.
Ooh, I've got quite a bit of notes. We covered kind of like the makeup of the people that live on this planet, what the planet looks like, how it kind of is structured. Talked about we've got a lot of I've got a pretty clear vision of what this world looks like. And I think I've got most of my notes for it here. So I'm going to have you all roll a couple d6 and sit on your answers for a moment. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I've rolled.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody. It's between me and Google, I guess.
Between me and the dice.
Okay, so having you roll for character creation. So we're going in a different order this time, a new order based on these new rolls. Scott, why don't you give me your result?
I rolled a 4.
Or Ryan,
I rolled a 6.
6, and Zach.
I got a 4 as well.
Interesting.
I win again, guys. Ha! Gotcha.
Scott and Zach, go ahead and re-roll for me.
I got a 4 again.
Got a 7.
All right, so that's Ryan, Scott, Zach. Is that the same order as last time?
That's the way it's meant to be.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna create characters now. Try when you're thinking of this character, try and think of it within this world, the place in that it would hold, and what that character would be doing. This is all going to happen pretty quickly. So, right, Ryan, let me know when you are ready, my friend.
All right. I'm a jellyfish detective. I have accommodations, you know. I float around in a tank, like with wheels on it, and I can sign things.
All right, that answers my question.
Yeah, obviously.
So you're like, it's like like you're a Krang, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm basically a Krang. Ooh.
See,
does that imply I have
you
like a
first
robot
said that.
suit?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Well, if it helps you sign something, I would imagine you have at least a couple appendages.
I mean, I have tentacles. You know, I'm a jellyfish.
Wait. So what you're describing to me is the tank that holds you is just like, it allows you to manipulate the outside world with your tentacle.
Well, I mean, I could sign with my tentacles. You know, I could have little grabber arms and wheels. So not full Krang.
It's whatever you want, my friend. If you want to go full Krang, you're more than allowed to. But I do like the imagery that you're giving me with like your little jellyfish detective just swaddling around everywhere in a water. I just imagine like a latex rubber kind of like suit that fits you pretty much to form, but has like 3 inches of water coming off of the top of your like exterior. On any given side, you're just kind of like in this bag that has like little appendages that stick out and help you manipulate the world around you, and probably a little speaker that allows people to hear your thoughts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's good.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
I was imagining like you just lived inside like the beverage cart and just like pokes your head out with little arms. So I like the direction that it went instead. A little more.
I mean, living in the beverage cart also very fun, but no, I think we've got something together.
Okay, so you're essentially in a latex bubble that allows you to manipulate the world around you and kind of slug around the airplane that you live on, probably. Helicarrier, maybe. Yeah, actually, so I've got taken a couple of notes. Tell me more about this jellyfish detective. Have you thought of a name?
I haven't thought of a name, actually. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that, I think.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what's your home life like? You can even tell me about the place you live. Tell me about relationships you have.
Well, I come from a pretty tight knit family of 35,000 brothers and sisters, and you know, I'm really just trying to get home for whatever holiday it is jellyfish celebrate, in accordance with the prophecy, and all jellyfish are named Bubble. I'm Bubble the jellyfish. and so is every one of my brothers and sisters. Come from a
Is it-
long line of bubbles.
Is it like you all can tell the difference in how the word is intoned, but like everyone else can't? Kind of
No. I'm Bubble.
Yeah.
What if it's like a
Bubble. What are you talking?
What if it's like a surname or something like that? Like Bubble Tuna, Bubble Fish.
Oh, I was thinking Ian Vertebrate, but I'm not gonna go there. That's too bad even for me.
All right, so you're Detective Bubble.
Detective Bubble, yes.
Can we ask questions of each other here too? Because I have so many questions now. Poor Ryan.
I don't think there's a rule against it. I'll let Weston be the final arbiter.
Yeah, so
I'll allow it.
How did you become a detective? Like, what got you interested in this field? Are you just reluctantly doing it, or is it something that you were passionate about?
Yeah, basically, it all started when my brother Bubble lost his favorite toy, and so I went and tracked it down and found clues, and was able to find his favorite toy in his toy box. His favorite toy was a rock, and his toy box was a box full of rocks. But ever since then, the fire kind of got ignited in my jellyfish equivalent of a belly. That really got me into solving mysteries of all kinds. My problem is, even when there's not necessarily a mystery, there's a mystery to be solved.
It's always a greater truth to find.
But like, what kind of beverage do you want? Toots. Let's see. What kind of beverage do I want?
Okay. Wait. So you said you had how many brothers and sisters on the airplane?
On the airplane. I only have like 5 or 6 on the airplane. We're all trying to get back for the Bubbles giving dinner.
Right. To get back before the holiday.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to get back to the terrestrial sea for the holiday? Is it like the holiday is like hundreds of years in between each one, so you're trying to like get to this?
Yeah, I'm trying to get
pilgrimage.
Yeah, we all make this big pilgrim. It's sort of like salmon spawning, except we don't die at the end. Nor do we grow weird beaks like salmon do. Fun fact: they get real weird when they're ready to spawn. Look it up. But yeah, just trying to get home for the centennial Bubbles giving dinner, where we eat plankton. Large amounts of plankton. I don't know what jellyfish eat.
Plankton. We're all master biologists here. We know these things. I remember.
I was right. Jellyfish, according to the Google Gazette here, they do indeed eat plankton. So
cool. Nice.
I've solved that mystery for everybody, and
it was
we can
a mystery.
all go home.
We didn't even know it was a mystery.
Yeah.
Wow, really going method with this character, Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have your family makeup. We have your ultimate goal in this adventure. Did we talk a little bit about the airplane you live on? I might have missed it while I was taking notes.
I don't live on the plane. I'm a passenger.
So you're okay. Like, how long have you been a passenger?
Just a couple years.
Okay, and and you're trying to get home.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's been your goal this whole time.
Yeah, I keep trying to convince the pilot to. The plane was never going where I wanted him to go, so I've been trying to convince him for several years.
What's the pilot like? Is he kind of a dick?
No, just kind of a space cadet, and just forgets. He's like, oh yeah, I'll take care of that.
Interesting.
What?
Okay.
Where are we going?
What kind of pilot is this?
Oh, Scott, Zach, I feel like if you guys have any input.
Okay, so I actually was wanting to play a pilot. So, and
So
I think the pilot is a little tiny pig.
okay. Is he a scatterbrain? Are we sticking with that?
I think he just tries to. He wants to please everybody, and he's a yes pig. He just kind of tells you, yeah, sure, we'll do that, but he says it to everybody, and nothing ever happens. Nothing ever goes right because he can't please everybody.
Oh my god. Okay, I love that we're already establishing connections. That's perfect. Passenger on the ship, and with a few of your siblings. Yeah, we have a lot of information for your character. I have a goal for you and all that stuff. Is there anything else you'd like me to know about this? About Detective Bubble?
He's deathly afraid of tigers, but despite tigers never having really been a problem for jellyfish historically.
Okay.
Once we're on the same plane, who knows what'll happen?
Yeah.
Deathly afraid. You said lions?
Tigers.
Tigers. Okay, sorry.
Could be lions, tigers, and bears potentially. The trifecta.
Lions and tigers and bears. I honestly just did that in my brain to myself. Afraid of tigers.
No, definitely afraid of tigers, but lions are just like whatever.
Yeah, right. No, they've got too much hair to be threatening.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, I think I'm set for you unless there's anything else. Feel free.
I think I have monopolized enough time. Scott and/or Zach, feel free.
Oh, we got to get you through your skill verbs, my friend.
Oh, my skill verb.
Yeah. So for everyone, we will all be using these skill verbs tonight. These are going to be everyone's skill verbs. So Ryan is going to get bonuses or debuffs depending on his selections right now. You will have access to these skills. They will just be ruled with a 0 instead of anything additional or negative. Ryan, what is something that you are amazing at? Something you'll get +2 to?
I am amazing at my insightfulness. I'm able to see through the lies and the bullshit, man.
You're
I can tell when some schmuck is trying to lie to me.
What's the verb for that? Is the question I keep coming back to.
Yeah, like I was. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because the adjective is insightfulness, but the
Like,
verb.
it's like discern or something. Discern or.
Hey, I'm not afraid of using any terms that
Like
other
detect,
people use.
I mean,
Insightful is what it is.
Yeah.
Detecting.
+2 to detecting.
All right, so yeah, +2 to detecting. I think that's great. That fits right in.
And we should all make a list of these verbs because these are like the things that are allowed to happen, right? Like
Absolutely. Keep a list of these going.
Gotcha.
Of course, we'll be rolling all of these through the game, so won't be too. You'll be given reminders.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what's something that you are good at? Something you're getting +1 in?
Playing the harmonica.
Harmonica.
Or a jellyfish, I'm excellent at it. But
so imagine like tapping this harmonica on the outside of your suit, and like there's no way for you to get air through it, so you're just kind of bonking it.
No, I wave it hard enough that air goes through it, and just away.
I see. So it's outside of the little latex bag that you live in.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. What is something that you are bad at? -1.
Communicating. I'm bad at communicating with people. So I have trouble getting my point across. People think I'm talking nonsense sometimes.
You're gonna be really good at interrogation. All right. So what's something that you are horrible at? -2.
I am horrible at I'm the bad communication accounts for why I can't get Pilot Pig to take me home. And I'm horrible at making drinks. I'm enthusiastic about it, but I will try to make a martini for somebody, and it will inevitably be just a monstrosity.
No one said you had to
Sauce.
be a bartender.
No. I'll try. I will not succeed.
I love it. Okay, that's marvelous. Along with these skills, you are allowed to give yourself anything you think your character would possess. So feel free to fill up a little inventory, make a couple notes of it. Who knows what will come in handy later. Just think about something your character would for sure have on them. Probably a knife at least. Yeah.
True.
At least one knife.
At least one knife.
At least one. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Other than that, Ryan, Detective Bubble, that's it for you, right?
That is it for me.
Scott, you are next, my friend. Do you have a character for me?
I don't have a name yet. I'm working on the name, but
Okay.
I've decided a jaguar. And I can walk on my back 2 legs and stand upright like a person.
Okay, sick. But you are just a regular jaguar. No anthropomorphism. Straight up jaguar.
Straight up jaguar. I can talk because of the sentience animal talking thing, but otherwise, I'm just on this plane. I don't remember getting on the plane or where I'm going. I think I was born on it.
Perfect. So you stand on 2 feet occasionally, and you. It sounds like you're all on the same plane, but you have lived on this plane your entire life.
Yes. I have at least one knife. Not counting my claws.
How old would you say you are?
Well, I'm not sure what the life expectancy on a jaguar is. Offhand, I should maybe I should check that.
I mean, in this world, it can be whatever.
Literally anything in our world. You can say whatever you want. It does not have to be based on jaguars that exist on planet Earth.
All right, then. In jaguar years, I'm 30.
Okay.
In vague jaguar years.
In vague jaguar years, I'm 30.
30 jaguar years. I almost wrote 30 years by itself, but that would be incorrect. It's 30 jaguar years.
Exactly.
You've got 1 knife, at least.
I've at least one knife. At least one.
Okay. At least 1 knife. Okay. So are you living on this plane alone?
I am alone. Yes, I wasn't always alone. I had family members, but they've passed away over the many years on the plane.
Oh no. So you're the only one left from your family that lives on this plane.
Correct. I am the last of my jaguar line.
And they've all lived their whole lives on this plane.
Yes. Everyone except our original elder who climbed onto the plane, and no one remembers when that was.
That's beautiful. You've lived on this plane your whole life, 30 years. Do you have you made like acquaintances, friends, romances, anything, any kind of relationships?
I've met probably most of the people on the plane. I know most folks by their name. I know them well enough I've taken on the plane the role of fixer. So if you need something, I find it for you, or I trade with somebody for you to get it.
Oh, that's so sick. So you're the plane mechanic and general handyman. It sounds like.
Different kind of fixer, but yeah, fuck it, why not?
Oh wait. Fixer like fixing like gambling kind of things.
Like covering up a crime kind of thing.
Whatever you need, we're on a plane. Whatever you need. If you need me to find you another couple extra knives, I'll find them.
Think Morgan Freeman's character in The Shawshank Redemption. I think
Right.
that's what Scott's going for.
That's a good analog.
Okay, cool. I wrote down ship mechanic, so I had to go back and rewrite that.
I could be both. I'm a fixer and a fixer.
Fixer and a fixer. All right, we're putting it down then. Is there anything else that kind of jumps out about this character? You've lived your whole life on this this airplane. You've never been off. You've never gone on any adventures. Never been on another plane. Never gone to dry land.
True.
Okay. And you know mostly everybody, but no like deep relationships with any of the crew or passengers.
Not super deep, no. I think I'm probably pretty tight with the flight attendants, just because I'm a mechanic, and as I said before, I do find things for people and make trades and such. So I probably talk or work closely enough with the flight attendants to know who's doing what and who's got what.
Yeah, you gotta know which backs to scratch, which palms to grease.
Mhm.
So maybe not super deep
Exactly.
relationships, but like well liked for business reasons.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Which backs to scratch, which palms to lick. Very important stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So in and of itself, you're kind of a mystery.
I'm a little bit of a mystery myself. Sometimes I'm a mystery to myself.
Or a suspect is what I'm hearing.
I love it. Okay. Writing down mysterious and alluring. Perfect. Okay. I mean, I don't have a clear crystal picture of your character, but I know kind of what you're going for, and that's part of the character. So I can move to skill verbs unless you have anything else you want me to know.
Nothing at the moment. I'm cooking something up. Maybe I'll send it to you in the message thread here. But
Oh, so then private.
Perhaps.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Well, I guess you haven't thought of a name yet.
I'm gonna go with. My name is. I've adopted it from one of the in-flight movies, so my name is Bagheera, and my name is Bagheera Mowgli. That's my name.
Bagheera Mowgli. I love it. Oh my god.
Did you get it from the live action remake or from the cartoon?
I'll never tell.
Bagheera Mowgli, the jaguar who occasionally stands on their 2 feet and has at least one knife.
At least one.
I love it. Well, what is something that Bagheera would be excellent at. +2.
Smooth talker.
Smooth talker. I love it. Okay. Silver-tongued jaguar. What is something that you'd be good at? +1.
Pickpocketing.
Pickpocketing. Okay. Yeah. What is something that you would be bad at? -1.
-1. That's with what I just set up. I got to think of what would be good.
Take your time. It's no rush.
Maybe I'm a bad. I don't know. That's tough. I want to say I'm bad at technology, but I fix things on the plane, so I can't be that bad at technology.
I mean, it could be like it could be like a Fonz situation where you just bang on stuff and it works, and like, oh, he's a mechanic. That's great. We'll let him fix everything.
Hey.
That would be a
Okay,
skill.
you know what? Let's say like mechanical engineering type things, like fixing a plane makes sense to me, but electronics and stuff don't make sense to me because I'm a Jaguar.
Yeah. No, I think mechanical is something you're good at, and technology, those are very separate things.
Yeah.
Technology.
I can repair your engine, but I can't fix your computer.
Like if it has parts you can see moving, you could figure out how it works. You could fix it.
Yeah.
I would like to indicate that technology is in fact a noun and not a verb.
That's fair.
Shut up, nerd.
Wow. In this world, nouns are actually verbs. That's a little truth.
We're nouning verbs now. Okay.
Yeah, get with it, sweetie. Scott, what is something you're horrible at? -2.
Horrible at dancing.
Dancing.
Well, that's going to be real trouble when we get to the dance-off section of this campaign.
Yeah,
No
it's
kidding.
a staple of Noir is the dance-off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I will anticipate, leave a couple spaces blank for you in case you send me anything on the down low. And try and remember to check my noties every once in a while so that if you do send it, I don't not see it.
Okay.
But Zach,
Mm-hmm.
we've made it to you, my friend. What do you got for me tonight?
All right. So when you see my character, he's just a little tiny piglet. He's wearing a captain's hat that's several sizes too big. It's like kind of falling down over his head all the time. He has to sit on a couple of flotation devices that were like stacked on the seat so he can reach the yoke. You know, he has to like stand up real tall. And he has a name tag on that's way too big for him. And it says Captain Hank Beefington. So I think what happened was he just kind of wandered into the cockpit one day to find Captain Hank Beefington had perished in some way, had passed away. And someone else followed in and said, "Hey, you're the captain, right?" to Little Piglet. And of course, he just said yes because he wants to please everybody. And that's how he became the captain of the ship. So that's his
Captain
backstory.
Hank Beefington.
Mm-hmm. But you can just call him Hank.
That's beautiful. Perfect. Just making that was a lot you gave me. Wonderful little backstory. I love it. So this pilot was dead when you found him. Is that just the story you tell people?
I think it's true. I think it was a cow. It was a cow pilot, and
He's a cow pilot.
yeah, his name was Beefington. That's cow name.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and he just kind of took the reins. And has been piloting for a while.
Would you say that he died of natural causes? Do you suspect foul play?
Foul play is what happens to the birds on the ship.
That's fair. You're not wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it could be a total mystery. I think it's just like there's just this dried up cow carcass kind of off to the side in the cockpit.
Was it a murder?
So basically a mummified Captain Beefington.
Beef jerky. Yes, that's jerky. He's the co-pilot, but he doesn't talk a lot. It's pretty quiet.
So you effectively stole this cow's identity, but in a cute way.
Yeah, it was not intentional. It was just accidental. Not wanting to disappoint anybody.
That's so precious. Yeah, that's right. You were telling us a little bit about about Hank Beefington earlier. Him being a real people pleaser, right?
Yeah, it's just afraid to disappoint anyone and just wants to say yes to anything that's requested of him, even if he can't possibly fulfill it.
It's so good. So Hank Beefington arrived on this plane, found found this captain in the captain's chair, assumed their identity. Did you come aboard with anyone else?
Yeah, I think actually I was a human's emotional support animal initially. And that was long ago. It was like an elderly human that passed away, and I just kind of wandered off on my own. That's how I.
Oh my god!
So I probably have like a little carrier somewhere. That's my home, for my my nap shifts during which nobody's flying the plane, probably.
But you're pretty old. It sounds like.
I don't know. I feel like maybe he's like deceptively old, but appears like he's very young. He's like
right. I mean, it sounds like you've lived multiple lifetimes at this point.
Maybe he's actually immortal. Who knows? Could be.
So I'm picturing like the anime trope of like the 1,000-year-old little girl.
Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds about right. I'm not an anime person, but yeah, it sounds right.
I'm not a big anime person either. It's just
one
of those things I hear about through cultural osmosis.
I'm glad nobody picked anime as our genre. I have no clue.
Yeah, we're all very lucky no one picked anime as the genre. Because I would have been crying by the end of it. You don't know anime like I know it! Which would have been cringe and awkward for everyone. So, you were previously an old lady's support animal. Mm-hmm. You found the ship and have been flying it ever since. Yeah. Did you board this ship from another, like a air-to-air transfer kind of deal, or was this like the plane was on the ground when you found it?
I think it was an air-to-air transfer, and like my mom, this old lady that's gone now, I think she was probably like some extreme wealthy human, right? Like, had a private helicopter kind of deal and was able to like land it on the plane and come aboard for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, this plane it sounds absolutely massive from everyone's separate descriptions.
I think it has to be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the helicarrier from the Avengers.
That's what I'm seeing now too.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you could have even been on the same like boarding transfer as like Bagheera's ancestor. Who knows how long you've been alive?
Maybe, yeah. It's kind of like, have you ever watched 30 Rock? Like, no one really knows how old Kenneth is.
Kenneth is,
in the show.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what else can you tell me about Hank? You've given me a lot of his backstory, but what has he been doing for the last, like, I don't know, a bunch of years. You know, you make friends on the ship. Sorry, go ahead.
I think, yeah, he definitely wants to make friends with everybody. He's probably really preoccupied with trying to not be found out that he's not really the pilot. So yeah, he's probably just trying to stay in everyone's good graces all the time. Always offering help to anyone that needs it. Probably I see him as extremely naive. Probably offers help to Bagheera and gets taken advantage of, kind of deal. Is the way that I envision it.
I could see that.
Probably accidentally does a lot of really bad things he doesn't realize.
Oh,
You think he's actually
he's a patsy to everybody.
Oh, hey.
Anyone who wants him to be. He's a permanent patsy.
Would you say though that at this point he's gotten to be an excellent pilot, or is he still very bad?
I was actually going to make that his -2 is piloting.
Nice.
Somehow, sheer miracle that you have been flying it without an issue for the last few
basically
decades.
he's just he's pretending to steer and he's not touching anything.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
They're probably terribly off course. Whatever. Sorry guys, I'm just.
That's why I can never get home for Bubbles giving dinner.
There you go. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and punch that in as my -2 piloting -2.
Yeah, let's absolutely go ahead. What else can you tell me about Hank? You've been on the ship for a while. You have acclimated. You're not maybe you're maybe a little too desperate to be everyone's favorite, but you're the captain. So everyone has at least a respect for the work you put in for the group.
Yeah, I think part of it is he doesn't want to lose that because people are respecting him just because he's a pilot, in quotes.
Right.
And he doesn't want to lose that prestige. So he's very, very, very protective of that. Tries to keep people out of the cockpit all the time. Tries to explain away the terrible dried beef smell.
And the occasional sudden drops in altitude.
That's just a plane thing. Yeah. I'm sure Bagheera will fix it for us. That's fine.
I'm just I'm really enjoying the idea that this pig is deeply insecure while also probably being at least having a regular check-in with everyone. This is an anarchist society, so there's probably too many meetings. And you're probably regularly being told that you're doing a good job. And still you're just I hope everybody likes me.
Yeah. He probably gets on the intercom a lot just to how's everybody doing? Come tell me if you need anything.
Offer words of encouragement.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, you guys are great, and you deserve to be happy.
That's beautiful.
Constantly making excuses for why we're not there yet. They haven't allowed us to. They haven't given us clearance to land yet. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a lot for Hank. Is there anything else you want me to know?
Open to suggestions, of course. If there any, I don't know, how does Hank feel about Detective Bubbles, for example? I think probably admiration, because you are this extremely brilliant mind, and you keep us safe. So I think you probably Captain Hank Beefington looks up to you.
Okay.
Literally, too, because he's a little tiny.
And I'm in my giant latex bubble, just kind of rolling around the aisles, solving where people put their keys and stuff.
I mean, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I mean, a jellyfish. You're a bigger species of jellyfish. It sounds like then.
I am a Portuguese man of war. I'll have you know.
Ooh.
Can you give me an idea of what the size of that is?
I'm gonna probably be totally technically wrong about this, but I'm gonna say about 6 feet long. I'm a big boy.
Okay. You're okay. That's fucking great. I was entirely imagining you and this pig like being essentially on the same like plane, eye to eye, you know, and whatnot. But
You know,
no,
until only moments ago, I thought the same thing. But surprises are around every corner in this game.
This is magic. Okay. Yeah. So relationship to Bubbles is respectful and even almost like a role model kind of person. And he's not there full time employed by the ship, but he does. It sounds like Bubbles does do things on the ship that kind of help you solve. I wouldn't necessarily say crimes, but maybe mysteries that have gone on. You know, where did the X, Y, or Z resource go?
Have I figured out that Hank Beefington is actually dead and the pig is not Hank Beefington and is in fact a bad pilot, but I like him so much that I haven't told anyone? Or I try to tell people and I'm just bad at communicating it.
I mean,
hold that thought. Hold it completely, because I love this. I love this, but I definitely want to see it play out.
Yeah.
I
jump in real quick to say that Portuguese man o' war's tentacles can be 100 feet long in real life.
Oh my god.
This is a big ship.
Scary. That's scary.
Oh my god!
Like be in the back of the plane and reach up and like grab the wheel.
Do I get rolled around like a guild navigator and David Lynch's
There
Dune?
you go.
The mysteries must flow.
I don't see why not. I mean, these are giant helicarriers, right? You could be all over the place.
Guild navigator, Detective Bubbles. That's perfect.
Am I okay? Okay. Has anybody seen Farscape? Am I basically
You're the biggest nerd. Sorry.
Okay, so Sam knows.
Right, you're both the biggest nerd.
Like I vaguely remember it from childhood.
Yeah, I vaguely remember seeing like ads.
Vague memories.
Is this horny Star Wars, Mom?
It was.
Perfect. Okay, so Hank, I have a lot of info for you. Is there anything else that you definitely need us to know before we get going?
I guess just the verbs. I don't think I have any more like description for Captain Hank Beefington.
Marvelous. Okay. So, what is something you are excellent at? You're +2.
So I think this is something that's like an unrevealed talent. It hasn't ever come up, but it just might in the right circumstances. I think he is great at knife throwing.
Hell yeah.
But he doesn't have a knife. He's never owned a knife. He thinks they're scary. He doesn't want to have a weapon. It's too dangerous.
He's that 1 out of 10.
He would hurt himself.
That one.
But he just
oh my god.
He doesn't know.
He's that one.
But he can throw a knife really well.
What is your +1? Something you are good at?
I think evoking sympathy. Just because he's so pathetic. I think he's an object of sympathy. So evoking sympathy would be the verb.
Well, you're also so cute because you're a little piglet.
Yeah. You got little pig boots.
That's why Bagheera is not susceptible to your charms, because he wants to eat you. on a natural level, you know? We're all rational people now, but there's
I would never try to eat you.
Yeah.
But I would be the first one to tell you that 9 out of 10 times, again, whenever I see our pig captain, in the back of my head, I'm hearing, "Are you waking? Yup, yup. For some bacon, yup, yup."
All right, Hank. And what's something you're bad at? -1.
Bad at. Let's see. This is a tough one, actually. I think like physical acts of like strength, right? So what's a verb there?
Weak.
Um,
Or I guess that's not a verb.
how about shoot, I'm having trouble getting a verb for it. 'Cause, I mean, I know what it is. Is that he's not good at anything physical.
Yeah, not strong. We're just gonna write weak. It's fine. Doesn't have to be a
Or
verb.
just doing things that require strength.
Yeah, feats of strength. Yeah.
Worse than the jellyfish. I
Yeah,
don't have a skeletal
also-
system, my dude.
We already have your -2. It's piloting, which,
Mhm.
if we're looking at just straight stats, literally everyone is a better pilot.
Yes,
Than
he is literally the
which is
worst
lovely.
pilot on the plane. Absolutely.
Kind of. Yeah. Okay. I think this is gonna be fine. I think we're pretty much set. Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna get pretty much right into it here. We have your characters. Is there any? Oh, I didn't say it until except for after Ryan, but feel free to give yourself any items, any inventory that you think your character would have. Feel free to write it down. You don't have to share it with me, but if it comes up, you'll have it. You will be rolling for resources through the game. That's just part of the mechanics. In case you don't have what you need, but that's totally. Yeah, remains to be seen how that all plays out. So, before we get started, I just like to remind you, anything below a 6 and below is a failure. 7 to 9 is a mixed success, and 10 to 12 is a success. So those, of course, you're adding your skill verbs to. Anytime you roll a failure, you should mark a tally down on your whatever paper, whatever interface you're using to write. Keep a tally and keep a list of those tallies, because each of those is going to represent a bonus +1 you can apply to any future roll, to a maximum of 2 per single roll. If you want to assist one of your teammates on their roll, you can use one of your skill verbs and try and help them out. A success grants your teammate an additional +2 to their roll. A mixed success grants your teammates +1, and a failure means that you share in whatever harm is about to befall them. And during gameplay, you are still absolutely allowed to make brand new statements about the world that will define it for there on out, but you will have to roll for it. So if you say mountains rise out of the ocean and start erupting in a volcano, I'm going to make you roll for that. And if you roll really well, it happens. If you don't, in fact, you are the volcano and you are now immolated. It remains to be seen. But again, don't forget to be silly. Don't forget to be stupid. The game is a success if everyone has fun and we want to play again. That's the core tenet of this game. I am going to disappear. We're going to go to a quick ad break. And we'll be back in just a few minutes for this session of You Awaken in a Strange Place. Stay tuned.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for all your patience, folks. We are back with this game of You Awaken in a Strange Place, an adventurous noir set on an airplane. Or is it? We'll find out. And we're going to get right into it, folks. We've got Bagheera Mowgli, the jaguar who stands on two legs, Detective Bubble, a jellyfish in a latex rubber suit, a very large jellyfish in a latex rubber suit, and Captain Hank Beefington, the small pig pilot of their shared airplane. But a little preamble, because, you know, a long time ago, the nations of the world lived in a state of disharmony. Chaos and violence ruled the hearts of men. War and the hoarding of resources was a constant threat to every living creature on this planet. Water levels slowly raised higher and higher year after year, until all that was left of this planet were sparse patches of islands. Then, suddenly, without warning, the first animal spoke, and then another, until the sounds of their voices, the voice of every bird, frog, and dog, every animal, could be heard throughout the world. Their number overwhelmed, and their expertise with knives cut through the ranks of their oppressors. They sought refuge in the sky. 100 years have passed since then, and though many humans have allied themselves with the animals since then, their conflict continues as the anarch animals seek their terrestrial home. But you three awaken in a strange place. Darkness. Pure black nothing fills your highly perceptive sight. A black bag is violently yanked off of your face, and in its place, in the place of this darkness, is shining, brilliant white light, blinding your sight. The blare of the light, it gradually, it slowly subsides. In front of you, you see a hard metal table. Attached to it are handcuffs, with each of your hands securely attached in them. Filling the room is nothing but gray, drab concrete, surrounding you on every wall, on the floor, and on the ceiling. The only remarkable detail is a door in one wall and a two-way mirror in the wall next to it. You hear footsteps behind you. Hard, wooden, clicking shoes come from around behind you into your sight. You see the forms, three men before you. They come around the other side of the table, two of them sitting in hard metal folding chairs, one of which sits in a velvet draped throne-like chair. In the fancy chair sits Lord Zoftur. Two of his private policemen, Officer Such and Officer Rampant, sit next to him. You are in an interrogation room, sitting next to these people who, while you're familiar with, in some cases you've met, in some cases you have developed a relationship of one kind or another. You're joined Detective Bubble, Captain Hank Beefington, and Bajira Mowgli. You all sit next to one another, facing these three men. They sit, and before you they let you stew in the silence. They stare into your faces. They look for any hole. They look for any weakness. Finally, Lord Zoftur speaks. You filthy animals have stolen for the last time. You will be detained here until we reclaim what you have wrongfully stolen from my airship. I would like a quick confession so that we might get to the punishment part. It's fate. Who would like to go first? You little piggy? And how about you, you blob of flesh?
You're the one who put a bag over my head. I don't even have eyes or a central nervous system. So, who's the bag of flesh now? Suck on that.
Very clever, this one. What about you, kitty?
I didn't do shit. I didn't see shit. I don't know why I'm here. And your breath stinks. So fuck off.
Yes. Heard nothing but disrespect from your kind for a long, long, long time. And I am about sick of it. Yes, every one of you cats is the same.
I don't know what that means.
I was always more of a dog person. Now I'm more of a wearing animals and their flesh on my coats kind of person.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's a bad look, especially for us.
Well, since none of you are going to talk, I'll let you sit. We'll turn up the heat in a few minutes. One by one, Lord Softour and then his officers all file out of this little room through the door in on your left side of this small interrogation room. What do you do?
Captain Beefington looks up to the other two and says, well, I suppose you two already said you didn't take anything, and maybe I guess that means I must have accidentally stole it. I didn't mean to. Do you think I should just tell him that I did it?
Nah, you're not the one who did it. All right. I already know who stole the.
Oh, well, let's just tell them.
And it's.
I don't think they said what was stolen.
No, I already know.
Place.
I already know. It's the.
Mm-hmm. He knows. He knows.
You know, that thing. You know, the one that went missing.
That's right. Of course.
It's exactly the last place you'd think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
It's like when I lose my keys to the airplane.
No, you're usually sitting on them, Beefy.
Oh, that's right. You're right, of course. I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
Beefy, we got to work on your confidence, all right? You're the captain.
That's right.
Frankly, I don't know what these folks are doing on your airship. I'm surprised they haven't been hurled bodily into the ocean.
I don't remember having a room like this on our plane. Do you? I don't understand why we would have built it.
Do we have our inventory?
within reason. If you
Right, it
think
depends
that
what's
you
in
could
it.
have smuggled this past a feudal lord and his private officers, then while you don't remember when you were captured or how you were captured, it would have to be a very secure location on your person.
I mean, inside my latex suit full of water? Or would they have, would I have my vast collection of knives in there? Because statistically, 9 out of 10 people has at least one knife, but I'm a bit of an outlier in that I have several dozen. Kind of sloshing around in my suit with my tentacles.
I'm gonna.
And did we decide if I was a 6-foot man of war, like a little baby one, or a 100-foot long monstrosity?
Well, it's like the body part of it is small, like basketball size, but the tendrils can be hundreds.
Oh, so I basically like fill my suit.
Yeah, it's
okay.
all folded up like spaghetti, just
yeah. It's like how our intestines are several hundred feet
exactly.
long. Yeah. I got it. I'm picking up a shot what we're putting out.
I'm gonna say that you might have a small, like, Swiss Army knife size knife that you have always in a very secure location on your person that is almost indetectable.
All right, so I pull out my switchblade from my secure pocket in my water-filled latex suit, and I saw the bonds apart from. Well, I don't need to. I have I'm an amorphous mass. I use it to cut my compatriots free. I'm like, I don't know why they tied me up. I don't have any solid structure.
Is there like hundreds of little handcuffs on the table with one tentacle in each one?
You are securely fastened to the table in with handcuffs, bounds of one kind or another. These would be a lot harder to get through than I think this knife has the ability to get through.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll put it back and wish I had my my knife that could get through those bonds.
That has the saw attachment on it.
Yeah.
Detective Bubbles, do you think they want us to break these? I don't think we're supposed to do that.
It's pronounced bubbles, and unless you want to be turned into a bacon snack there, I think we better get out of here.
I don't want that at all.
Bagheera's mouth starts to water at the word bacon.
See.
Sorry, guys. My mouth just tastes really bad all of a sudden.
I think I have some Werther's original in my lunchbox, but they took it from me. I don't know where they put it. I'm sure they'll give it back this
Bastards. I love Werther's. We got to get those Werther's back.
You're right.
Oh, the Werther's. He dropped him behind the pilot's seat.
Oh. Okay. Well,
how do you not know this? You're the one who knows where all the Werther supply is.
I forget things.
No, not you. Bagheera could have told you this.
I know where a lot of things are at. I know where everything's at. Still got to talk to people now and again. So how are we getting out of this pickle, guys?
I think Captain Beepington is just like trying to break his handcuffs, just using his amazing piglet physique.
Can I use
grunting and pulling and
his feats of strength?
His feats of strength.
Would
say it?
Oh, you can roll it.
So that's just 2d6 -1, right?
Yeah, you. Just to be clear, you're trying to break the bonds with your feats of strength, which is a -2, right?
That's -1, but yeah.
-2
is piloting.
Yes, -2 is piloting. Piloting is the thing he's worst at. But I got a 5 total anyway, so I don't think that's too much.
Typical. 5 total or okay.
5 total,
Typical of your size. Everyone expects this to not work, and then it does not. And the handcuffs that they have on you, kind of are a little sharper than you anticipate. You get a little cut on your hand. You lose 1 HP. You all start out with 10 HP if you didn't already have it written down.
About to ask that. I had no idea we had HP.
Right. I always forget to bring it up before we get started, but yeah, 10 HP. Everyone has 10.
It never seems important.
I think what we see is he tries to break them, and it's like comically short attempt. He just like, and he goes up like right away, and he kind of tears well up in his little sad piglet eyes, and you see like a little tiny cut on his wrist, and he's like whimpering.
Oh, so precious. Okay, so Hank doesn't break his cuffs. Your knife cannot cut through them.
Can I pick the lock?
I was gonna say I'm gonna use one of my claws to pick my handcuffs.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna. I know it's not technically the right. I know it's not technically the same thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Bagheera use pickpocket, and I'm gonna let Bubble use detecting. Both of you go ahead and roll.
All right.
I rolled a 9.
I rolled an 8.
All right, so that's a success and a mixed success. Scott, I'm going to say that you very stealthily, aware that behind that two-way mirror is probably the same douchebags that were trying to interrogate you poorly earlier, that you do this with an amount of stillness, I guess, that kind of evades any detection on your part, and you have uncuffed yourself with your claws. Bubble, I will. I gotta tell you that. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. This knife, not exactly the right tool for the job. But you have spent a lot of times in handcuffs you didn't want to be in, and you are able to free yourself as well, although a bit less stealthily. And it might be kind of obvious what you're doing of it. But you both are for the moment free. Did you want to get the captain out of his bonds as well?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
So pathetic.
Question: you said the two-way mirror, is it behind us?
In front of you.
They're just watching.
So it's in okay, so they're watching.
But they're watching in front of us.
Unless trying to hide it. You could be like, trying to hide what you're doing and just ambush them. That could be an idea, right?
Can I ooze a tendril across the ground and kind of help out Captain I almost said Captain Beefheart. That's a totally different dude. Captain Beefington. Sort of surreptitiously while continuing to sit down.
Yes, absolutely you can.
All right. So should I roll to free poor Beefy?
Yes, absolutely. And go ahead and roll with detecting.
All right, with detecting, that gets me a 10.
And that is a success.
Nice.
I am so you free Captain Beefington. You are all three of you freed from your bonds, but and you unlocking Beefington's cuffs definitely was a lot more stealth than when you took off your own. So you would all reasonably suspect that if they are watching you at this current moment, at least Bubble is has been made. His actions have been caught, but they may or may not know that Hank or Bagheera are free. depending on what you do next.
Can they also hear us or just see us?
I wouldn't say you know, like for sure, but what you do know about these feudal lords on the terrestrial plane of this world is that most of their prisons are surveillance. Just overkill. Like they're recording your heart rate. More than likely. So
Like
you
that, I don't
imagine
have a hot. Got him.
you could reasonably assume. Yeah.
I have no obvious internal organs to speak of. Suckers.
You're a translucent bag in a translucent bag. You ever think about that?
Can that's deep. Can I ooze across the floor and create a trip hazard for anybody who tries to walk in?
You know what? I ain't gonna stop you.
All right.
But it'll be very clear what's happening.
Oh. Very clear because I'm in a translucent bag. Yeah, I see.
Hey, I mean, well, I guess I didn't say dimensions of this room, but you could probably. It's like 12 by 12. It's a 12 by 12 foot room. Door on the left, two-way mirror in front of you. Cement everywhere else.
I want to try to distract them to help Detective. Is it Bubble or Bubbles? I want to get it right.
Bubbles.
Bubbles, plural. Okay. I want to make sure Detective Bubbles isn't spotted. So I think.
Oh, actually, I did say Bubble at the beginning. I apologize.
Yeah,
It is not plural. Bubbles is my family.
Bubbles was my father. I think, Captain Hank Beavington looks into the two-way mirror makes his eyes really wide and says, "Excuse me, I know you can hear me in there, and I'm actually my wrist kind of hurt, and I'm very hungry, and I think you might have accidentally kept my lunchbox that has my food in it. If you could maybe go look for it and bring it in here, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much."
Yeah, go ahead. Both of you roll. Hank, I'm going to have you roll evoke sympathy, of course. Detective. Yeah, I guess we'll.
Playing the harmonica.
No, we're giving you we're gonna have you roll one of the skills provided by Bagheera's skill tree. Actually, we're gonna have you roll dancing because it's kind of like dancing.
All right, I'm doing the sack dance, and I rolled a 3.
Ooh, I think it's 10.
I just kind of slosh against the door.
Yeah.
How does my assisting help him? I'm just curious.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your evoke sympathy roll?
I got a 10 on my evoking sympathy.
I see.
You
both meet in the middle ultimately.
Okay.
They see this pig, and they are distracted by you. Are they going to do anything you want? No. But they do miss Hank, or not Hank, Bubble. They do not see Bubble squiggle across the floor in front of the door with the majority of his tentacles. They do see him fall out of his chair. And moments later, the door's thrown open. What have you little creatures been up to? Ah! Go ahead and roll Bubble for me. Go ahead and roll to trip them, I guess. We're going to call this one... we'll call... You know what? We'll call it detecting.
I'm detecting? Well, then I got a 9.
All right. Lord... what can I call him? Vontur. Lord Vontur falls right on his face. What do you do?
I I smother him and say, "Cheese it, guys!"
Oh wow. Okay. So, officers Such and Rampart are both trying to stomp on you to release you from the clutches of their lord, but they just keep kind of like squishing through your soft, fleshy, bag-like body and kicking their boss in the face.
It's like trying to stomp on a waterbed. It's good luck, fellas.
Gira, Hank, what do you do while all this is happening?
Also, I might stab one of them in the ankle. I do have my knife. One of them.
I think Hank just like doesn't even. He kind of just steps out of the handcuffs, kind of forgetting that he's pretending to be locked up, and just like climbs up on the table and says, "Everyone, if we could stop fighting, somebody might get hurt if you're not careful. So, you guys stop trying to stomp on my friend."
As he says that, I'm like mid-swing to swipe with my claws at one of the guys.
To tear somebody's throat out. Have a Tarantino-esque spray of blood all over the room.
Yeah, we'll use Hank's knife throwing skill for your attack, Scott.
Well, I rolled 2 5s.
Ooh. You take out Officer Such. He is bleeding from the jaguar vein in his neck.
Jagular.
Yeah, you make him sad with blood. He cries.
I swept my claws across his jagular, spraying his blood across the room.
He is down. Lord Boncher is crying. And Officer Rampart is trying to get you off, trying to pull you off, but he is distracted for the moment, seeing his friend fall over, gushing blood from his neck, arterial spraying like it's Takashi Miike.
Nice.
Oh, be careful! Don't slip. It looks mighty slippery over there. Careful, Bagheera.
Oh, careful! There's knives. That blob's got a knife.
Oh, that's right. You were going to knife someone.
I was going to. Officer Rampart is the one who hasn't been jugular-fied.
Correct.
Somebody's getting an Achilles severed.
Yeah, go ahead and use Hank's knife throwing skill.
Well, that got me a 3.
Whoa.
Ouch.
You chop off a tentacle, lose 1 HP.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I got more out of those.
I didn't think about it before I said it, but because you're a bag in a bag, yeah, we'll just say you cut off a tentacle and kind of forgot to take, like, your knife wasn't even outside of your latex bubble. You, like, cut off your own tentacle inside your bag. We're going with it. So, unfortunately, Rampart is no longer distracted, seeing this failed attempt at cutting open his Achilles tendon and disabling his movement. And he is going to... he is about to take the offensive here. I mean, he's already taken the offensive against you, but if someone doesn't step in, you might be in trouble here, buddy. Bagheera? Hank, what are you doing?
I'll jump in and then, unrelated to game, I have to run downstairs to grab delivery.
All right. Hank, that leaves you, my friend.
Such safe pause. Wow.
Does Bagheera kind of freeze in the moment that this is happening while you're getting your delivery?
That's up to you guys. I was gonna say I could swing now and then run downstairs, but
I like that dramatic tension.
Real fast.
I like the dramatic tension. Go ahead and run downstairs. Just leave your camera on so that it doesn't mess up the. It can be a pain in the ass. If you don't mind.
Okay. I will mute myself though.
Okay.
All right.
And Hank, you are standing on a table, watching your friend Bubble get stomped on over and over again, although it doesn't seem to be doing anything. While also seeing Bagheera strike through Officer Such. Blood is spraying on your adorable little face from his arterial wound. What are you doing?
Hank cries out, "Oh no! I think somebody might have gotten hurt. I'm going to go get some help. You all just put some pressure on that. Bagheera, maybe you can help him not bleed too much. I'll be right back." And he's trying to like just book it out.
Call it piloting. Go ahead and roll.
Piloting. Oh yeah. I guess
Piloting your own body.
Yeah, it's not navigation in general. He has no idea where he is. I got a 0.
Oh wow. Yeah, you go to jump off the table and your hooves kind of slip on the concrete and you fall on your butt. Your tailbone loses 1 HP.
Oh!
Does he make like a squeaky toy noise when he hits the ground?
He does. And I think he like comically like kind of bounces on his tail like a spring for a second. And
absolutely,
he squeals. Actually, I need help too. Officer, could you please go get the doctor and stop trying to fight everybody?
Hank, I will say that even with your very low roll and your hurt butt, you could still possibly get past Officer Rampart and Lord Launcher, considering their level of distraction right now. If you wanted to try and hold your tailbone and waddle past them.
Okay, yeah, I think so. And I do think Hank is like saying that back to his friends. Maybe it's more like, I actually need to get a doctor myself, so I'll be back as soon as I can. Just sit tight and make sure people don't get hurt anymore. I'll be back really soon.
Absolutely. You
always split the party. That's rule number 1.
Yeah, always split the party is the rule I've heard. Yeah. So you leave this interrogation room, and you see a drab gray cement hall. Dr. Bubble, what are you doing? Or Detective Bubble, sorry.
I keep on calling him Dr. Bubble too. I don't know why.
Well,
Dr. Bubbles.
I have spare tentacles, so I can at least try to take down the remaining officer. And once they're on the ground, it's easy enough to try to smother them with my amorphous mass.
Go right ahead.
All right.
Try
it again. Oh, that's an 8. But you know what? I'm going to add my 2 failures to it to make it a 10.
That is success. You, with some spare tentacles you had lying around. Hey, you wrap them. Yeah, you wrap them around Officer Rampart's face, and he begins to, like Lord Vonshire, have a really hard time breathing suddenly. Bagheera, you see Hank fall off of the table onto his ass and hurt his tailbone a little bit. His poor little piggy tail. He kind of bounces on his tail like it's a little spring, but it seems really painful kind of thing. But he runs past the lot of you out into the hall while you are setting up a strike on the now incapacitated Officer Rampart. What would you like to do?
I would like to plunge my claws into whatever part of his body not currently smothered.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll for me.
That's a 8.
An 8? Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. You You hit him, but it's not an optimal spot to you like strike him in the forearm, let's say. You go pretty deep inside of him. It definitely looks like he might bleed out eventually if he doesn't seek medical attention, but it's not a mortal wound. However, he is still having a really difficult time breathing with Bubbles' tentacles around his face. So he definitely is not having a good time right now, nor is he able to seek help in an immediate sense. You get the impression, all of you get the impression, except Hank, who has left the room, get the impression that this fight is ultimately pretty much won. I mean, the feudal lord didn't put up much of a fight. His two officers are basically toast. You could, at this point, start running if that's what you'd like to do, or stay here and finish the fight if that's what you'd like to do, or any invention of your own creation.
Does Rampart being smothered have like could I ask him a question really quick before
Yeah,
he's
if you wanted to communicate to Bubble that you want to question this guy, I think Bubble, you would probably acquiesce, right?
Yeah.
All right, Bubbles, I think we got to get out of here, but if we're going to do that, we need to find out where they put all of our shit.
So I let like Lord Voncher breathe a little bit because he's a stupid aristocrat who is of no physical threat whatsoever. Like I go ahead and give him a talking to.
Don't mind if I do. All right, listen here, Lord Fuckface. I want to know where you put all of our stuff. We need our shit back so we can get out of here, because we didn't steal whatever the fuck you're talking about. And I'm going to make sure you remember it.
Release me, you hedonistic pagans!
Give me my shit, or I'm killing you.
It's in the evidence locker just down the hall on the other side of the two-way mirror!
Great. Do we need keys, or is it just open?
Oh, take my keys! I just want to live!
Take those keys.
Absolutely you do. You could roll pickpocket for it, but it's a success. He has little to no ability to resist you. At this point, he is wrapped up in Dr. Bubble. Or Detective Bubble. That's the second time I've done it. I'm so sorry. Detective Bubble has him completely wrapped up in tentacles. You have the keys.
All right, Bubble, how much of your tentacles are you currently using to wrap these people up?
Oh, I'm using one tentacle on Lord Voncher, and then two each on Such and Rampart.
All right, think you can stretch all the way down the hallway to get our stuff?
I think I can make the attempt. So I'm gonna start sloshing some of my mass out into the hallway.
Yeah, we'll definitely call it a detecting. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a 6. But +2, that's an 8. That's an 8.
Oh, okay. That's okay. So it takes a little bit longer than you would like, and you do have to let go of both Such and Rampart to get there. But you and between you and Bagheera, you are able to navigate, and Hank actually, who's already in the hall, are able to navigate getting the keys to a tentacle, having the tentacle unlock a door. And from unlocking that door, get into another room, into a locker, and grab y'all's shit.
Nice.
This,
right.
As I said, it takes a little bit longer than anticipated, and you do have to let go of both officers, one of which is bleeding from the forearm and is pretty woozy from having his air supply cut off for the last minute or two. Kind of just barely holding on to consciousness, he stands and stumbles out of the room. He is about to go past you, Hank. Is there anything that you are going to do to stop him?
Yeah, I think Hank's gonna just like grab onto his pants leg.
Go ahead and
Say-
roll feats of strength.
Okay. I'm gonna use my 2 bonus points I've accrued. Gives me a
Alright.
+1 overall. Makes it an 11.
Hey, wow, okay. Hank, you grab onto Rampart's pant leg for dear life, and not only is he not able to get to what you now see on the wall not too far from you as a big red button that looks like a alarm, he falls. He falls in his stupor and lands directly on his chin. He is completely unconscious. The only one of the 3 at this point is Vonshire. The only one that is conscious now is Vonshire. Such is bled out from his neck wound. Rampart is unconscious and very likely concussed and will never be the same again. But, you know, ACAP. So...
I have a quick question, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given where we are like the other 2 kind of in the interrogation room still, and I'm in the hallway with this unconscious officer? How we're seeing it?
Well, Bubble's kind of everywhere.
Right. But as
Bubble's
far as
kind
like,
of everything everywhere all at once. Is the
Yeah.
as far as like what Bubbles can see at the moment is my question.
Yes. Bubbles is in the interrogation room with any non-touch sensory perception that this specific world's jellyfish might have. I know that you've said over and over again that you don't have eyes, but you know it's not impossible.
Some kind of adaptive technology.
I can you know I can understand my surroundings and things like
perfect.
that.
So I think what we see.
But
in
a
the
bag
hall,
over my head, it doesn't do much. But
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So he is mostly seen in the interrogation room and the other side of the 2-way mirror room, the evidence where the evidence locker or the possessions locker that held all of your shit is in.
So I think Captain Beefington kind of leans over real close to the unconscious officer and says in this little tiny quiet big voice, I'm sorry, but we can't let you push that button because that would really disappoint my 2 friends in there. And then he puts his little tiny piglet hoof over his nose and mouth so he can't breathe.
Holy shit!
Yeah. He is already unconscious. He has no ability to even halt your action here. He suffocates relatively quickly as he was just already being suffocated, and his ability to breathe has been restricted quite a bit recently, and he succumbs fairly quick. However, Von Shore is still kicking his princely little boots around in the interrogation room with Bubbles' tentacles on him. And Bagheera, as far as I understand, you are still in the interrogation room as well, correct?
I was in the interrogation room, yeah.
Okay. So, what would you like to do next?
Well, I am awaiting all my stuff from the evidence locker, which would include knives, my sunglasses. Unless they took it from me, I'm wearing my mechanic's jumpsuit. But I do need my tool belt with my general maintenance tools.
Yes. No, absolutely. Bubbles' tentacles have brought you your items one by one from the locker. You have all of your...
kind of passing them along my mass. They're just
nice.
kind of being waved across.
Absolutely. Exactly as I was imagining it. Yes. So you do have your equipment.
Excellent.
Awesome. Teamwork. We did it.
Good work. We won. I think
All right,
Hank
all right.
Hank grabs his little plastic lunchbox that has the A-Team on it, like as it comes down the hall, and opens it and takes out a applesauce packet. Starts to enjoy it.
Victory.
I will say that Lord Voncher, if he's still being suffocated by Bubble, he's probably dead by now as well.
Whoops.
All right. I'm sure he
if
had
you
it
want
coming.
if you want to take this opportunity and release him, you may. Up to you, Bubble.
Nah.
Yeah. You feel a faint pulse turn into no pulse, and you kind of just shrug your tentacles.
Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Well, hot damn, Bubble. Good work.
Yeah, you know, he's like a guy.
Yeah, I mean,
That defense is a perfect one for court. He's just a guy.
He's a guy.
He's a
you
guy.
know.
I like it. I like it.
Just
It's good. I'm gonna loot the body.
Yeah. So you're looting. Bubble, what are you doing now that everybody's dead and everyone has their equipment back?
Yeah, no, I've retrieved my butterfly knife and my chef's knife and my butter knife and my Bowie knife and my bayonet and my cheese knife and my putty knife and my bag of plankton snacks.
Perfect.
And I placed my fedora upon a part of my mass.
Does a Swedish electronic pop duo like come walking down the hall as you're getting all your knives? I'm sorry.
What is this? The planet of the base? All right. Timely.
Yeah. Hank, what are you doing, my friend?
Oh, was that to Bagheera or Hank? Sorry.
Oh, Hank.
Hank. I think he just kind of wanders back into the interrogation room with his lunchbox in one hand, kind of skipping. And hi, I think the other officer, he tripped and he fell, and I'm not sure what happened. He doesn't look so good.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, these two. Like he comes back to the interrogation room to tell them this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Pretty sure he's dead. Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
good.
he's dead.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Well, they're all three dead. We're still here. I'm not sure if there's anybody else in wherever the hell we are, so maybe we should get out of here.
Yeah, you're picking their. Oh, sorry. You're picking these pockets, and you're having this conversation with Hank and Bubble. And as you say that, maybe we should get out of here. You hear, meh, 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 meh. An alarm has been sounded. As I said earlier, this place is rotten with fucking security and surveillance. You have been spotted. Your actions have been caught on camera. They have the audio, and they are going to cancel you IRL. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna enter my Taylor Swift reputation era.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Go ahead and roll pocket for me while this is for your pockets. For your pick.
10. Oh,
right.
actually, 11 because of my pickpocketing.
Nice.
I will tell you that occasionally in this game, you are able to just roll for resources. Those resources can be used at any point in the future. If you come to a bridge that has been taken out, you're able to turn those resources that you've just acquired into a rope that'll lead you across. You're able to turn it into whatever you can think of in the moment that will be functional to you later. You don't have to know what these resources are, is what I'm saying. They can just come up and you can use them when you'd like.
Okay. All right. So I found some resources, is what you're saying.
You found some resources.
I like it.
So, with these newly acquired resources in hand, alarms blaring in all of your ears, or Bubble, whatever, bladder that you have that detects vibration. You all are, you're on the move. I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah. No, we are blobbing along. Well, I'm blobbing along. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Amper.
Sick.
I'm running with all of my claws bared and a knife in my mouth.
So you're on your hind legs, just kind of
That's really scary, actually.
like Red 13 in that scene in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So on my
No one
hind
knows
legs,
about
I'm standing a good 6 feet, and I'm a good 6 foot standing jaguar in a mechanic's jumpsuit with claws and a knife in my mouth, coming straight for you.
Man, that's such a terrifying image.
If we're on the moving quickly, could Captain Hank Beepington like ride in like the front overall pocket as you run? Is that okay?
I know you'd allow it.
Kind of like a little,
Absolutely.
it's a little Krang situation of our own over here.
We got him right here in the jumpsuit, right in the zip. So
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's
little head
almost
poking
like
out.
a baby Bjorn.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, that's beautiful. You all turn a corner, and you see a red panda standing there in front of you. She's got a like an old newsy cap on that's bright red, that almost like contrasts. It's so unnaturally red with her fur. She's got overalls on and a giant oversized wrench. I mean, it's huge on her over her shoulder, and she's pointing all of you to this like 4 foot by 4 foot square panel that has been removed. And she says, "Hurry, everyone, get into the tunnel. I'll get you out of here. I've been sent by the Resistance."
I'm going to see if I can trust her. I'm just going to check my instinct.
Absolutely,
That's
go
all right.
for it.
And my instincts give me a 10.
You've seen this red panda in propaganda made by the Resistance. She is Lady Texas, the red panda.
Okay.
That's her real name. I didn't just make that up. I've had that written down. I swear. Nope. Anyway, so Lady Texas is this well-known Resistance fighter. She is known for getting good people out of tough spots.
That definitely legally distinct from Katniss Everdeen. Yeah, I'll trust her.
Anyone else have anything before they jump into this hole?
Only thing I got can be said on the run. So
You all get into this this small, similarly sized 4 foot by 4 foot area. So the red panda, Lady Texas, leading the way. She quickly reattaches the panel and says, "They don't have eyes in this hallway. They don't have eyes down here in this passage. Follow me. Get you out of here." And you follow her. You follow her a short distance before you are back in the open air. Sea surrounding you, rocks and the sea surrounding you. You have found a hard, rocky shoreline that's on the end of this cliff, an island base of this Lord Voncher. You see approaching you a small, dark, stealthy-looking helicopter that lowers a rope down to your location, and Lady Texas starts climbing the rope. She looks down at you and she reaches her hand down for one of you to grab it.
Grab onto my mass, and I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you're kind of just like flop one of your tentacles into her hand, and then reach out to Hank and Bagheera.
I mean, I'm going wherever Bagheera's going because I'm
Oh, right.
riding in his pocket.
Right, you're in the pocket. Okay, so as you grab, I'm sorry, Bagheera. Did you go ahead and grab onto to the tentacle of Detective Bubble?
I do, but I do it very, very like slow reaction time because I've never been off a plane before, and I'm like, baffled by shores and solid ground.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're in a semi state of shock, and but you do grab onto to Bubbles' tentacle, and as you do, all uh, four of you are lifted into the air by an unseen pilot in this stealthy black helicopter. And with that, we're going to go to our last commercial break for this program. Stay tuned for more You Awaken in a Strange Place. We'll see what happens to our escaped convicts from here. All right, folks. We are back to the conclusion of this noir adventure in an airplane, which so far has not been in one airplane. You have you've been escorted up the rope into this helicopter. It is of a smaller size, so you're all able to fit comfortably. There is the four of you, the pilot, and the co-pilot. A great giraffe with a vest that is adorned with all of these like anarchist symbols and kind of phrases that immediately show you who they are. The pilot is similarly adorned. He's got a little military God, I don't remember the style of his hat, but like the kind of like square looking little military hats on. Lady Texas looks at all of you. You're out of breath. You've just climbed into this this small helicopter's passenger compartment. You're all looking at each other. You're looking at her. What do you do?
Well, I'd be respirating very quickly if I had lungs.
Yeah.
Captain Hank tugs on her sleeve to get her attention.
I'm sure you all have a lot of questions.
Excuse me. I don't know if you know, but I'm actually the pilot of our ship, and there's not been anybody flying it for a while. I'm not sure how long we've been down here. So if we could get back to it before it crashes into the ground, which it might do,
Yes.
we should probably do that if it's okay. I don't want to put you out or anything, but it's all right.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but do you happen to know how the hell they got us off the plane in the first place? Is it on the ground? Is it in the air? What's going on?
Yes. Well, I can answer all of your questions. Hank, Bagheera, Bubble, we've been monitoring you for a long time. A long time. We know that you don't have an active role within the resistance itself, but we think our causes might be aligned, and you have something that could help us greatly. Help all of us, every animal and every person on this planet and in the air. You were the feudal lords have been in alignment for a while, for all of history, on what they would like to do to us and the rest of our planet. And unfortunately, it is always towards the path of destruction. They've been developing for some time their own aerial technology. It burns coal and it holds. They hold their airborne technology to be quite advanced when it actually is simply built just for destruction. They're flimsy and easy to defeat, but they have a great number of them. They have complete grip on the resources of the terrestrial plane. These large dirigibles can carry troops, they can carry weaponry, they have great destructive power through use of nuclear technology and weaponry. They were able to sneak aboard your ship while you were all sleeping. I can tell you that your crew, your passengers, everyone is okay. No one has died. But they are in danger, and we are en route to them as we speak. we may have a little bit of a fight ahead of us, but they weren't able to. The feudal lords weren't able to put enough people on the plane and get all of the three of you out without leaving some vulnerabilities in their defense. They don't have enough people in your ship, and if we're very lucky, your passengers and crew will have already been fighting, and it will be a relatively easy return to your ship. But prepare for a fight if not.
Wow, it really sounds like they were trying to kidnap my cousin Bubble, the gorilla fighter. Oh well.
Yes, Bubble, the gorilla fighter, is well known, and was definitely.
Hey, lady. It's pronounced Bubble.
I'm so sorry. The gorilla fighter Bubble. Sorry.
No, Bubble was my father.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry, Bubble. I'll try. I'll keep trying. I'm very sorry. It's very insensitive of me. But ultimately, yes, they were a target, and they were attempting to eliminate Bubble. But obviously, considering their great strength, they were unable to do so. And it, according to our information, Bubble is still on the plane, as with the rest of your siblings and familiarly. So, you must be wondering why your plane. Does anyone know the history of the ship that you have been living in?
I mean, I've lived on it for my whole life. I know enough.
Do you
Yeah.
do you know that that ship has been in use for almost the entire animal-human conflict? It was built very, very early on.
That tracks.
At first, built as a base for the resistance, and for many years, many of us fought and died in that ship to try and bring peace, bring freedom and liberty to all. But it was abandoned several decades ago at this point, long before any of you boarded it. There may be some very sensitive materials, something I'm hesitant to tell you about, given the importance to the resistance that these materials be found. You may not even know they were there.
No, I knew they were there.
Detective Bubble knows where everything that's secret is hidden. He knows it pretty much everything.
Well, I mean, as soon as you look into it, it's the mystery. It compels me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, and I know that ship like the back of my paw. Anything they can't find, I can find.
well, we'll know very shortly if the materials have been disturbed, and hopefully the three of you will be able to help us find them. Which was also one of the secret. This was also one of the assumed, rather, reasons that you were taken. You've all lived on the ship, other than a new detective, for a good number of years. So there's a fair chance that you have seen this, these materials that we speak of. But again, because of it's so important, it's so I can't unless you just happen to mention what it is in passing, reveal to you what exactly we're looking for. But because we've seen the blueprints and the layout of this ship, we have its original design in our possession. We know that there are a number of places that you may not even know exist on your ship. However, we are approaching. If you look out the window, you can see the dirigibles, and you can see your airship just on in the distance. Do you see your home? I have to tell you,
I see it.
there are a limited number of troops on the ship, and as I said before, I hope that they will be even less of a threat if there's already been if they have already met resistance on your ship. But prepare yourselves. This may not be as easy as I hope it will be.
I think as we're flying over, Captain Hank takes like a little piece of cloth he tears it off a shirt or something and ties it around his head like a little headband, and tightens it and just says, It's true to survive war, you've got to become war. Now let's get ready, everybody. Let's go kill those motherfuckers.
You said it, Captain Hank. You said it. I pull out one of my wrenches and I grab some of the grease from under the nut and
Yeah, there you go.
and then I put some on Captain Hank.
I undulate in shock a little bit at Hank, but then I move it on, and I put a knife in all of my tentacles. Is it too early for this?
The captain.
I can't see how close we are.
The captain of the helicopter turns in his chair and says, "We'll be approaching, and we'll be dropping you off in 30 seconds. Are you ready to land?"
Detective, can I hold one of those? Is that okay? Like to all your knives.
Oh,
He
yeah.
makes little sad piglet eyes at you. Holds out his little paws. His little hooves.
Yeah. I'm gonna give the bayonet.
Oh, nice.
The razor sharp bayonet with like blood gutters, and
it's probably like taller than Captain Hank is. So he's holding it like this big, bastard sword. He's standing on two legs, kind of like Bagheera, but it's like looking at a toddler trying to learn to walk.
It's a piglet claymore.
Yeah, exactly. He's just barely staying on his feet, but he's holding this bayonet. He's ready to go.
I love it. Okay.
I lean over and I strap one of my 5 knives to your back as a backup.
Beautiful. Is there any other prep, Bagheera or Bubble?
I just have one question for Texas. What kind of wrench is that?
It's a big one.
Yeah, but like how big?
Oh, it would be like it's still a pretty significant size one, even for her stature. It's probably 3 feet, probably a good 50 pounds.
All right. Don't take this the wrong way, but if you die, I'm taking that wrench.
Believe me, if I die, you're the first one I would want to hold.
Awesome.
You hear from the pilot seat, "Go, go, go!" A hatch opens up under you, ropes pour out underneath, and you see the hatch of your ship, the top hatch, is open, and Bubble, your the guerrilla fighter, your cousin, Bubble, is there to welcome you all.
You pronounced it wrong again, but sure.
They're motioning. They're motioning with their hand to come down, and yeah, you rappel down the ropes, and you are back in your airship. Lady Texas has followed you and is standing with you as you land in a large cargo area. There is boxes and some tools that would be useful for opening the boxes, as well as your cousin Bubble, and a handful of crew, a zebra, a gopher, and a fox. Land on the ground.
Regulars, who's doing here?
Yes, you of course have Bagheera and Hank. You would absolutely know these animals. This is of course Bubble, Bubble's cousin. The zebra, Nelly. The gopher, Reginald, and the fox, Tim.
Okay.
We're so glad you're safe. We thought we lost you for good, Captain. We have an alternate flying for you. They've been doing okay, but the cockpit is being sieged by the private police forces of the and military forces of the feudal lords. We must hurry.
May I ask, is this the newfound steadiness of the aircraft throwing off Bagheera?
Yeah.
No, because I'm back on the aircraft. So
yeah, but it's steady
everything's
now.
fine. Yeah, but it's fine. This is normal.
You've been used to random turbulence your entire life from our completely inept pilot.
Yes, but I've adjusted to that, so I can adjust to this.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've just heard from Tim, the fox, that the cockpit is being laid siege to, but Lady Texas looks at you and says, I need one of you. I need at least one of you to come with me. I have to get to the materials I've been looking for. They're in one of the lower decks of the ship.
Oh yeah, the lower decks of the ship. That's where they're
So you all have a decision to make. Do you go with Tim or do you go with Lady Texas?
So
We split the party.
Is it go to stop people from breaking into the cockpit, or go help Lady Texas find this mysterious materials?
Which are very important.
they're not that mysterious. I mean, we look. You just line up the clues, and that's what it is.
Of course. Silly
How
me.
can you not deduce that?
I don't know. I'm not a detective. I just fix stuff.
We're running kind of low on time, I think here. Maybe you two can go find these materials that you already know about, and I'll go take care of this asshole trying to take my job in the cockpit right now. I mean, make sure he's okay.
All right. Is that what you're doing?
I think that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Good plan, Captain Hank.
Lady Texas grabs both Bagheera by the paw and Bubble by the tentacle and leads you down and down into the depths of the plane. Meanwhile, Hank, Tim, Nelly, and
Reginald
are heading towards the cockpit. Hank, you hear, actually all of you would hear the sounds of small arms fire going throughout the ship. Hank, it's in front of you. You're running right into it. Whereas Bubble and Bagheera, it's kind of a ambient, almost like coming from every direction and no direction at all kind of sound. As Lady leads you further and further into the depths. Hank, you see Tim take cover in a doorway. Reginald and Nellie on the other side of the doorway. You know the ship like the back of your hand. You're a couple short rooms from the cockpit. On the other side of this passage, you see a couple of military police holding their weapons and firing, not at you, but the other way into the next room, assuming at some of your comrades. Their backs are to you. It doesn't seem like they've heard you yet. What would you like to do?
You know that scene in Rambo where he like comes up slowly out of the water and like grabs the guy and cuts his throat? I think he's gonna try to sneak up really quietly behind like the closest one. He'll kind of turn to Tim and Reginald and Nellie and kind of nod and put his little hoof to his mouth, like, be quiet. And he wants to just sneak up there and just like cut his Achilles tendon so he drops to the ground.
Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, you know what? You're the only one who hasn't used your knife throwing skill yet. We'll call this whole roll your knife throwing skill. Go ahead and roll for me, my friend.
Alrighty. It is a 6 total.
A 6. Oh boy. Captain Hank is a pure-hearted fellow, but he's also born with the thick, calloused hooves of a pig, and in trying to sneak, makes much more noise than he thought perceptible by humans. You know, pigs, they got sensitive ears and probably can hear stuff that humans can't hear. But unfortunately, they're not quite that imperceptive. And they hear you sneaking on them and begin firing at you and Frank and all of your friends. Luckily, you're all able to take cover fairly quickly and can see that the distraction did buy the people on the other side that they were shooting at some time to regroup and figure out a strategy. Bagheera, Bubble, you have been led into some of the deepest, darkest parts of the ship. This place is so huge. You know what? Yeah, I would say that Bagheera, because you've lived here, these passages seem familiar, but there's no necessary function for you to be there. There's nothing to like, no parts to replace, no items that you would need to procure there. So you kind of just know them in passing through them. But Bubble, you've only been here for a couple of years at this point. These might be places you've never seen in the ship before. Lady is using a. I mean, there are some lights spread out through this part of the ship, but it is fairly dark in there. And Lady Texas is using a flashlight to read blueprints that she has brought with her and is using as kind of a rough map of the place. And she lets you know this is, I think, it. she grabs her wrench and starts smacking panels right and left, kind of checking them for and you can see her kind of listening to the sound after she hits them. And each time it kind of makes a dull thud. But she comes to a panel in the floor, just a small, nondescript panel. And when she strikes it, it makes a ringing sound, like there is some kind of hollow area underneath. She looks up at both of you. Before I lift this up, I need you to swear to me, to swear on your lives that you will never reveal what you're about to see to anyone.
Well, I already promised to never reveal the Wu-Tang secret, so I think I can handle this too.
I keep a lot of secrets for a lot of folks. I'm sure I can keep one more.
What you're about to see might be shocking. It might be heartbreaking. Steel yourselves, friends. And when she reaches down, she pulls out a small box, maybe a foot tall or a foot wide by 4 inches tall. Just this small little box. She, from around her neck, is a chain, and on the end of that chain is a key. She puts the key into the box, and it makes a satisfying clicking noise as the latch unlocks and the box opens. Inside, you see a rolled up scroll, which she unrolls rather, to reveal more blueprints, actually. It looks as though, well, you know what? Akira, I'm going to have you roll technology.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess, Bubble, you can roll detecting on this one, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, I got a 9.
Fuck yeah, okay. Okay, Bubble,
Bubble.
you can see that these look to be a series of tubes and larger, large facilities that look like they are spread out over a significant portion of the world. You see that they connect to the islands. You see all of these series of tubes and facilities all connecting one island to the next in this subterranean or otherwise underwater kind of bases that the human military has been building. And it looks like these plans, they're on a scroll. They look to be a little bit older. Lady looks at you. This has been going on since we learned to speak. The oceans were becoming more and more rough and hard to navigate for the humans and their technology of the time. So they started building below them, through the waters. As much as it looks like we're winning so many of the skirmishes in the air, and that it's only an illusion of our sure victory to come. We thought, I hoped, that this was just another red herring, another dead end that I've been following all my life.
Some of my best friends are red herrings.
It's hard for me to look at this and see that it's been a reality. And we don't know how much of these plans have been completed. but they've had decades. They've had 100 years. The fight is long in front of us, friends. Now it's time to go help the rest of your passengers and crew. Follow me. Or I'll follow you, whatever.
So wait, am I to understand here that we've just gotten the blueprints to these underwater bases that the humans have been building?
Hard to tell you if that is the case.
Why were they in the plane? Wait, I know that. It's because the motive.
Well, the Resistance, a long time ago, was able to procure these planets from the Imperial powers. But unfortunately, the secrets were lost when with the ship. We had records of it existing, but you have such a erratic flight pattern that we never thought we would be able to actually track you down. Your pilot, Hank, what a genius. I've never seen the like. We're just lucky that they found you and we were able to help you.
Yeah, he's a real tactical genius. So what do we need to do here? Am I hearing destroy some underwater bases? Is that what I'm hearing?
Kira, I've
never known you to be much of a swimmer. I don't know if that's cool.
Now, listen here. I personally have never swum in my life, but jaguars are known to be good swimmers. So I feel like if I tried it, I'd be good at it.
I've read that, yeah. Well, Bagheera, I can't ask you to join us in the Resistance, but if you're offering your assistance to help us stop these bases from operating, we would be overjoyed.
You know, I've got the resources to build a giant bomb that could be driven by a submarine if we really put our heads together.
I don't have a head.
Point taken.
I don't mean to make it awkward. Kind of think of it, I don't have a central nervous system.
We can put our collective consciousness together to figure this out. All right, how about that?
Hey, I like it. Inclusive language. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, I think our first mission needs to be liberating your comrades. You're on the ship. We'll definitely work out all the rest of the details very soon. But I think Hank could use our help. Flash 2. Hank, you are looking at the formerly alive human military personnel. The two that were in the room and firing at you after you fumbled your sneak attack have been shot by your comrades on the other side of the door, who have quickly had to turn their attention to the threat that is on their opposite side. You are standing next to Reginald, Nellie, and Tim. They are looking at you. What do we do now, Captain?
So are there any threats between us and the cockpit? Are we like being attacked from behind? I'm trying to get the visual.
Oh, your comrades in the room ahead of you are being attacked by people in the room in front of them.
Okay, so it's like 2 rooms to get to the cockpit. The furthest room has enemies. The room in between has comrades.
Yes.
Okay. I think Hank looks over to his comrades and says, "There comes a time in every animal's life when we have to make sacrifices for the greater good. That's what we're all about here, right? Isn't that right? And it takes a great leader to know exactly when and how and who to make that sacrifice. And he turns, Reginald, I think it's up to you now. If you could just kind of scurry on up there and draw their fire, we can probably just get right past them. You'll probably die, but I think that's probably okay in the big picture, right? And he makes like this really sad face at Reginald Gopher.
The look in their eyes, every one of them is looking at you, glossy, you're Superman right now. Go ahead, just for shits and giggles, go ahead and roll Evoke Sympathy.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bonus that I got from failing my roll. So that's a +2. Come on, ooh, that is a 12 total. Sorry, Reginald. It's for the greater good.
Reginald hugs your leg. The little guy just like grabs a hold of one of your hooves and just gives you the biggest hug, and says, "I shall not fail you." And he scurries on all four of his little paws into the next room, past his friends in the next room, and into the room following, where you see. Well, it's too far. Yeah, it's far enough. It's close enough that you can see at least 3 personnel on the other side that are hostile personnel.
Okay, so my goal was for him just to like cause enough of a distraction and draw their bullets into his little gopher body long enough for us to like run up and get the drop on him.
You have definitely succeeded in this goal. I am curious if you want to add additional action to that as it happens. If you're trying to hit the sneak attack, or not the sneak attack necessarily, but you're trying to use the distraction to do some damage.
I think so. I think it's like the kind of montage of like running up the little what do you call it, the aisle, and Hank kind of leading the charge. I think once he has this the gopher laying down his life for him, and maybe he pulls out the backup blade that Bagheera gave him off his back, and he's running like a little teetering off balance samurai, and just like leaps for one of these mercenaries, I guess, or human soldiers.
Right. Excellent. Okay. That's exactly how it plays out. You and Tim and Nellie and Reginald, Reginald ahead of all of you. So ultimately, you, Tim, and Nellie meet a lion, Bogart. You meet up with your friend Cyrano the Pelican, and Marcus the Robin. In the next room, they all have their various weapons, a knife gun, a gun knife, and a knife. And they kind of follow your charge into the next room. As Reginald is running around the feet of these 3 human guards, you see he is taking fire and dodging like he's Goku in instant transmission style, just deftly evading their small arms fire that ricochets off of the walls and off of the floor of this the hard steel interior of this cabin they're in. You and the animals charge them. As you do, Bubble, Bagheera, and Lady pop up into the room that the human military are in, up through a panel in the floor. you all have surprise on these guys. I'm going to have you each roll knife throwing.
Yep.
8.
I've got a knife in each tentacle. Let's see how this goes. Oh man, snake eyes.
Roll one for each tentacle, Bumble. I'm kidding.
I was hoping for like a death blossom at the end of Last Starfighter situation.
So we've got snake eyes from you, Bubble, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I've
rolled an 8.
successfully stabbed all the walls.
And
I rolled an 8.
Excellent. What about you, Hank?
Was another knife throwing? Okay. No, that's a 10. One thing he's good at.
Bubble, you fall back down the hole. Take 1 HP. But I will say that you do have numbers on your side here. The 7, 8 of you against these. What you can see now that you're in the room, 4 military personnel are an overwhelming match for them. The distraction brought about by Reginald proves to be a huge success, or a huge benefit to this attack, and you completely incapacitate all 4 of these military personnel. The next room is the cockpit, and it looks like since there's only military personnel that you've seen in the room adjacent to it, you might assume it's not necessarily. It might be occupied. What would you like to do next?
Hank just goes up and knocks on the door politely. Excuse me. This is the actual pilot. I need you to come out now so I can fly the ship good.
You don't hear anything, but the door is rather thick, and might not be the best at letting sound through. Go ahead and
He bangs harder and harder, I guess. He's not getting an answer.
okay. You might be able to assume from the kind of like dull thudding of your hooves on this door that there's no sound being let in through the next room. However, on the ship's intercom, you hear a voice. Okay, everybody, if anyone can help me, as I'm alone in the cockpit. It's been pretty rough out here. I keep getting fucked with by the military, but it's still just, it's me, it's Pelly, the Pelican. Or, wait, did I already use Pelican?
You did.
Pelly, the flamingo. In here all alone. If anyone wants to come and save me, that'd be great. I can't hear or see anything, and I caught the door locked. So really only a few people who have the key can actually get in here. So, all right, bye. Hopefully not forever.
All right, I'm gonna need you to put your other foot down on the other pedal so we stop yawing to the right. I know you're a flamingo and standing on 2 feet is hard.
Are you saying you found the other connection to the intercom that you can talk into the cockpit from this room?
No, I'm trying to ooze into the cockpit.
Oh, just like through the door, under the door.
Yeah. I'm trying to find
so,
a spot to ooze through.
Yeah, Bubble, you've oozed up the ladder that let you up into this room, and right from there, you kind of just start trying to ooze underneath the door. I don't think this door is pretty heavy duty. I don't think you can get in, but yeah, maybe one of you, maybe the captain, might have a key for this room.
I do not have that on my inventory. I think he's never bothered to lock it in his life. He probably
9/11 didn't happen to the
he
animals.
doesn't even know that there's a key you need to use. He's just left alone in there. Guys, I don't have a key to this door. Do you think one of you can maybe jimmy it open or something? Or do we need to climb on the outside of the plane and go in through a window? I'm kind of out of ideas, to be honest, but I need to fly the plane because obviously this guy, he's a real piece of work. I hope the intercom isn't on. I hit mute. Don't forget to hit mute.
Go ahead.
I can attempt to pick the lock with one of my various knives.
Go right ahead, my friend. Although
right.
I will say that there are resources. Somebody, Scott, sorry, Bagheera.
Well, I mean, you know, bigger picture, I would use the resources for something else, but I have picked a lock already. I could pick again.
Well, you know what? You probably know where the lockpicks are.
I probably know where the door bypass is for the lock, honestly.
That's extremely true.
You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I just open up the panel next to the door and I pull out my wrench and I just start like banging on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
This usually works.
This is a classic Bagheera technology check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I rolled a 7.
A 7.
It's not a full failure.
You open up this panel next to the door and you start smashing it. Lady Texas even gives you her wrench, and you start smashing it with this big 3-foot wrench. The door does not open. However, the sound of that wrench hitting the wall next to that door is enough for to get the attention of Pelly the Flamingo, who opens up the intercom. The military's banging on the door now. If anyone could just tell me they're on their way soon through the intercom, that'd be great. Hello? Is anyone there?
Hey, Detective Bubbles, I think I remember there actually is just a doorknob on the inside of the door. Maybe you could tell Pelly about it.
Captain, is that you? Who triggered? Yeah. I can hear you.
We're doing heroic things out here. We'll be right inside. Actually, do you see the doorknob on the inside of the door?
Yeah, I don't know why I had to communicate that.
If you just turn it, it opens, and I'll come save the day.
You're the one who speaks authoritatively. I'm just some fucking guy.
Door opens. Pelly the Flamingo stands before you. You're here too. I'm assuming.
I think Captain kind of rolls his eyes at Pelly a little bit and says, "Time for a professional to take these controls. Why don't you just stand aside now?" I think he immediately just like makes it worse. He pushes the yoke forward. And he's basically never touched it. He's just kind of like left it alone. And he just like pushes on it. Like, this'll fix it. We'll do it better now.
That's beautiful.
The whole airship starts bucking wildly in all directions. And finally, Bagheera, I'm sure, can stand easy.
Oh yeah, it's everything's much better now.
Beautiful. From you hear over the intercom, Mark the gorilla. the voice of Mark the Gorilla. He says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know. Looks like we've cleared off the enemy in the back of the ship. How's everyone doing in the front over there?"
Hey, you know,
Okay.
pretty good.
Hey, detective. You might
Yeah.
want to ask. You might want to ask your cousin not to go fight Mark, because Mark is actually a friend of ours, and I don't think he should go fight him.
Oh,
He said he was a gorilla fighter.
They do look kind of like humans. That could lead to some confusion, but
Yeah, Mark's a good guy. Leave him alone, all right?
I'll let Bubble know that.
For the first time, I'm putting my foot down. You do what I'm telling you.
Does he put his foot down on a vital control in the cockpit?
like on the pedal.
Oh my god. Yeah, you gonna roll for it?
Sure, I'll roll a piloting check to see how bad this is. 7 minus 2 is 5.
Oof.
Yeah, Mark the Gorilla grunts to the intercom. Sounds like he's in pain. Great job, Captain, as usual. You've retaken the plane, as far as you know. It seems like the enemy has been thwarted. You can see in the rear view mirror that the enemy airships look like they are trailing behind you now. It seems as though you have retaken your ship. Man, go ahead and do detecting for me.
All right, I can do some detecting. I've already figured this whole thing out. I'm gonna bust this nut wide open because I rolled a 10. What am I detecting?
Bubble, you when you step into the cockpit with the captain and Bagheera and your newfound comrades, you could see that from the position of the sun and the islands that are on the ground or in the water rather, below you, you are very near your ancestral home. It seems as though you've finally made it to your destination with Pelly piloting the ship.
Oh, holy shit! I have to go tell Bubble, and Bubble, and Bubble. But not Bubble. Fuck him a little bit.
You look at Bagheera and Hank, and you realize that you're at the place, you're the destination that you had been seeking for about 2 years. But it's been an interesting day.
Yeah, I'd say so. Hey guys, once with this fighting's over, dinner, family. How do I put this? Yeah, you got it.
Is this your stop, detective? Is this where we're getting landed for you?
If you would be so kind, I've only been asking you for a couple of years now.
Oh, I remember. I've always wanted to try to land. I mean, I'll land this plane like I've done a lot of times before. Here we go.
Right. I'll bounce. I'll be fine. I don't have any bones to break.
And I guess we try to land somewhere for Bubbles and his family.
Yeah. I mean, Bagheera at least definitely knows that this ship does have the ability to land on water, although he's never been alive when it ever had.
That is true. I've never once been on this plane when it's landed. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go. This could be real good or real bad. That's all I'm saying.
All right, here goes nothing.
Tell you what.
Like point the plane straight down at the water, just perpendicular.
I could literally play this game with you all for another 4 hours, but we are quickly approaching the unfortunate end of the time we had planned.
Mhm. I mean, I kind of like the idea that we just end in this dive and we don't know what happens next.
I think you know it is a noir, and while it hasn't necessarily felt like the most noir-y noir, I think ending on a mystery for a noir to come is its own accomplishment of a trope. So,
Well done.
what do you think about that? Yeah, I usually do like I usually at this point will do like a little like what happens in the next year for your character. What's the future look like for you? Kind of like the end of an 80s movie. But with this one, it seems like leaving it vague is better. So I guess I'll alter that to what what were you just trying to do?
Oh, you know.
I mean, yeah, it seems like Bubble, you would have been wanting to go home. Bagheera, you would have been ultimately back at home. And Hank, it seems like you would have been accomplishing something that you've never accomplished before. But maybe because of the events of the day, you might have a certain amount of confidence in your belief that you could do it that you might not have had before.
I think he actually believes he's a pilot for the first time in the, I don't know, 50 years he's been a pilot. Who knows how long he's been doing it.
Well, I just want to congratulate all of you on a really well played game. I had an absolute blast tonight. That was
Me too.
like surprisingly I guess I'll just say behind the screen here, I got to almost none of the plans that I had. Everything I had planned was basically I never had a moment to bring it up. So we were completely flying by the seat tonight. You guys gave me a lot of the only thing, Lady Texas is the only thing that I had planned that actually happened tonight. And I knew that I needed something to happen to get you guys off of the prison island. And I just, you guys played marvelously. I couldn't have asked for a better group of guys. So thank you all.
I think
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
It's great meeting you all.
It's a fun plan. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank all of you for
Had a good
watching.
time.
Really appreciate you for sticking around for Nerdcrafty, for watching us play this really wonderful little game. Definitely go check out the rest of our material on our YouTube or subscribe on Twitch if you haven't yet. Check out these wonderful people's work, Strangers Rolling Dice. Just look at Scott's IMDb. I mean, he's very humble, but he's a fucking like one of the hardest working people in show business that I have ever met.
Oh shucks.
Yeah, I appreciate you all. I appreciate every last one of you. So, without further ado, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and good journeys.